To introduce our keynote speaker. She works as a business service representative with the Southeast Kansas Works. She has already volunteered with her program and has helped create a career planning curriculum for our graduates that they will begin next week, ladies. Her story resonates with our leaders. She has walked in a similar path as many of these graduates tonight. She has built a resilient path to overcoming obstacles and creating change in her own life. We are blessed to have her share her story tonight. Please welcome Amanda Taylor.
Wow. That's all I can say is wow. You know, I never thought that I would be a keynote speaker for anything such as this. But I am truly honored and thankful to be able to present to everyone tonight. Before I get started, I just want to say that there was a lot of things, when drafting together, my speech to present. I struggled with how much was too much and how much wasn't enough to be truthful about, to actually touch people's lives. And so here I am, presenting what I think is a good start, I guess I should say, for myself. And there are some things in my speech that I didn't necessarily get too in-depth with, but I will say that I do share a similar story with the graduating ladies here in the front. I come from a broken home in South Jersey. I was raised by a single mother. I'm a sibling of 5, and I suffered a lot of turmoil, physical abuse, mental and emotional abuse. And that caused a lot of chaos mentally and emotionally in my life, which led me down a lot of really, really bad paths that I'm going to share, even to a point where I was exploited in my earlier 20s. I'm actually 29 now, so here I go. First and foremost, I want to give all glory and honor to the Lord Jesus Christ for carrying me through my life and never easing his hand upon me and setting me on a straight path. I'd also like to thank Lindsay, the director of this organization, Radical Life, for the opportunity to speak to the first graduating class of 2021. Organizations such as this truly leave lasting impressions in people's lives that they will always remember. And it's truly an honor to sow seeds of empowerment and encouragement this evening. Before I begin, I'd like to say to the 6 graduating women to neglect what you think you've known up to this point in your life and embrace what you don't know to allow yourself room to grow, learn, and heal in your lives moving forward. I grew up in a small South Jersey town similar to Important. I am one of 5 siblings that was raised by a single mother. As I got older, my aspirations and goals for my life intensified, and so did personal things in my life concerning family and internally within myself, emotionally and mentally. I was brave and bold, yet timid, scared, insecure, and very naive. Upon graduation from high school in 2010, I had hopes and dreams of filling a Broadway career. I got accepted into a performing arts school in New York City, and I envisioned a slew of opportunities it could bring. But that dream dwindled due to lack of finances. So I ended up flirting with a modeling career and taking on different jobs just to make ends meet for myself. But it was never enough to give me stability. My friends and family only saw the success of modeling and the credible people I engaged with through photos on social media. But no one knew what was really happening behind closed doors in my life, and that I was lost, wandering girl looking for answers and for her identity. Because it was never enough, I found myself engaging around the wrong people who already had their identity and purpose to try and find my identity. But that left me even more emptier inside than ever before. This is when I decided that I have nothing to actually lose, so I should enroll into school. I realized I had been so discouraged and hurt from not attending my first choice of schooling that I allowed it to snatch away my vision for my life, and I allowed it to have me feeling hopeless and in despair. Many times in life, unfortunate and unfair things will happen to us, but it is how we respond to those mountains. It is how we react and how we allow our mind to process what happened that determines our outcomes. Don't allow what it looks like to burden you from never dreaming again or thinking it can't be done because of your reality around you or your age. A delay is never a denial, and what we see is always subject to change. With a persevering attitude, you can handle life's yes and no's. We may not think that things are moving fast enough in our lives, but it is a fact that we all are experiencing one or more blessings that we hoped and prayed for months ago or last year. Think of a rose. Before a rose reaches its fullest potential and beauty, it is a seed planted and covered in dirt, preparing itself to have strong roots, to spring up and out to show everyone how captivating it really is. Just 3 years ago, I was a resident at Shiloh's Women's Home. That was my moment of being a seed covered in dirt, unwrapping the hurt and damage of my life, and preparing and prepping myself to be the stronger, confident, and valuable woman I am today for me and my family. This is your moment now. Forgive yourself, set goals, and each step you take, remind yourself that you've already been covered in dirt, and nothing and no one will stunt your growth moving forward. Understand and realize that there is a higher power, the power of Jesus Christ and his sacrifice of dying on the cross more than 2,000 years ago that makes all things possible and all things new in every area of our lives when we submit to him and allow him to lead and direct our paths. Thinking back on a time when I was living in the Bronx in New York City at a women's shelter during a blistering winter, every moment I stepped into that old hospital facility that was now a shelter, I had to bring my A game and think smart and act tough or I'd be taken advantage of. There was no room for tears in a place where everyone there was trying to get out of whatever situation they were in. And I remember being overwhelmed with anger, frustration, and losing all good spirit and even faith in God. Everything that had transpired in my childhood up to that point in my life, I said to myself, Lord, why did you create my life if you knew that it wasn't going to be any good? Thoughts of suicide played in my mind and whispered in my ear countless times. And for just some time, I tried to act out on taking my own life through over-the-counter drugs. But all those demons were trying to have me take myself out of this world. There was still a small, subtle, burning flame of hope within me that said, I am not done with you yet. To all the graduating women here, the Lord is not done with you yet. Every lie that comes to your head that tells you you can't do it, it will never work. You're not smart enough. Your past life and all the wrong you've done makes you unqualified. You're not as good as other people. It's a bold-faced lie. Nothing great ever comes from something great. Anything great always comes from darkness, and it excels into greatness. Do not keep yourself trapped, believing the deception of the enemy. We were all born with a purpose. Some of us find our purpose sooner than others, and some people go on living in a lie they've created for themselves that keeps them stagnant for years or forever. You were created to be and do so much more. Hold yourself accountable. Identify your flaws so you can work on them. And while working on them, stay on the path you see for your life. The only time we stop winning is when we stop trying. Don't become your own nightmare. Don't let what someone else's life looks like intimidate you or make you feel less than because everyone has secrets. Everyone has been covered in dirt at some point, and what it looks like may not necessarily be what it is. I want to leave everyone with this story to think upon. There were 2 daughters of an alcoholic prostitute mother. One struggled through life as an alcoholic and a prostitute, and the other becomes successful, ambitious businesswoman. When asked, why are you this way? Why are you the way that you are? Both responded, my mother was an alcoholic and a prostitute. This story is an example of accountability and not blaming unfortunate situations and circumstances to determine your outcome. Regardless of where you come from, you can take control of your life. I'm happy to gift each one of you with a rose to remind you that you are more than enough, and you are creating strong roots now to rise into your unlimited potential. And this may sound cliche, but when life knocks you down, if you can look up, you can get up